5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Welcome everybody. I just want to welcome everybody to the Gomez Saga. Now, this is definitely separate from Gomez Saga than what you're used to, folks. With my brothers, that's the Gomez Saga with the 3 brothers. And today is something that I've been wanting to do for the longest time. And that is a show with my wife. So, everybody, I'm going to introduce you to my wife, Giselle.
Hi, everyone.
So, what I've been wanting to do is this show besides the 3 brothers that I have with my brothers, the Gomez Saga 3 brothers, and a separate entity inside the Gomez Saga called, I don't have a name here for the topic. That's actually something that I put in my wife's hands.
I never came up with anything.
Nothing at all. I told my wife that, honey, I want to make a podcast with you within the Gomez Saga, but I want you to make the name for it.
I'm very honored. However, I did not even come up with anything at all. I'm actually pretty nervous.
Yeah, she is, everybody. So when this launches and it goes on live,
I'm not going to listen to it because I hate my voice.
It's okay. I was the exact same way.
Oh, God.
I was the exact same way when I went for the first time, but it's cool. People like it. I was getting a lot of feedback at work about doing one together. I was like, because I had some people that were interested in it, right? They were like, hey, like, you guys' shows are pretty funny, but have you ever thought about like doing it with your wife? And I was like, that's not a bad idea. And then I was like, yeah, I should do it with my wife. That'd be pretty cool because how often do you get to listen to a couple talking about relationships and then goals in their relationship? And it's open. I believe it's open. And then, sorry, I had some open bottles here that we were kind of dropping.
Bottled water.
Bottled water. So yeah, I wanted it to, so that gave me an idea, right, to do this podcast with my wife and do something where we talk about our relationship and then we answer questions. We have kind of a Q&A, answer questions from other people about relationships, about goals. And so here we are. And here we are, episode 1. And we did have some couple of questions that we did get from a couple of our audience and our fellow listeners out there. And those of you who gave us your guys' questions, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Definitely anybody who's listening, if you have any other questions, definitely feel free to let us know, DM us, hit us on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, me or my wife, and we'll be more than glad to listen to it. Now, the best part, since my wife hasn't thought about a name yet.
Oh, you guys can suggest names.
Just come up with names. I really don't have one yet. We saw The Marriage Story together. That kind of gave me an idea to call it The Marriage Story. It's kind of a good one. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. My wife is like...
copyright, maybe.
Right. Well, we kind of will get copyrighted, I believe. I believe we can use it. But if any of you have any ideas, please let us know. But as of now, we're just going to put it up there. And I'll put question mark for our name when I upload it.
Podcast with my wife, maybe? Episode with my wife. I don't know.
Episodes with my wife.
Something.
We don't know yet. So... Everybody, just so you know, we are going to answer a couple of Q&As, a couple of questions they gave us. One of the ones that they gave us was a pretty good one. One was, yeah, maybe. That's right. So those of you probably wondering how long we've been together, and this is going to give you a curveball, okay? Because this is what I'm going to tell you. This magical number that I'm going to give you is unheard of. It's kind of unheard of, and it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of
the number
of how long we've been together. It's kind of how do I say it? Rare, but I'm gonna go first because the men are horrible with numbers when it comes to relationships. So I'm gonna say that we've been together for 8 years. And we've been married 7 years. Quote me if I'm wrong, honey.
It'll be 7 years married in September.
Oh.
So almost, but not quite. Yeah, 50% of it right.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. And 8 years together?
8 years together, yes.
Boom.
8 years together in March, this past March.
So, that being said, that's pretty of a... When I tell people, like, yeah, especially at work, right? I give them a curveball. And I tell them, like, hey, like, no, like, what's up with you? I'm like, oh, like I'm with somebody. I'm like, are you with somebody? You have a child with them? I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm married. You're married? It's like, whoa, you're married? I'm like, yeah, I'm married. I'm like, how long you been married for? I'm like, 7 years, I believe. At the time when we were talking, right? When I was talking to that associate. And they're like, how long you been with her? I'm like, 8 years. I'm like, whoa. That is a very, very long time. And it gives them a curveball to a lot of people, right? Because that's kind of not the norm nowadays. It's kind of,
right.
A lot of people are, I would say it's kind of hard to commit for a lot of people. And a lot of people are actually scared of that commitment to that one person, right? Being married is a different level. And then it's a lot different than being with somebody together for so long with their kid than actually being with somebody together and devoting yourself to that one person. And that's, marrying your partner. Because I believe there's a big difference, right? Than being with somebody for so long and then being with somebody married for so long. This is coming from a guy, actually, right? So to me, it's really, really a big difference.
It's a big difference, for sure.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot, guys. I'm telling you.
It's not easy.
No.
And I think that's why a lot of people end up in divorces, because they don't want to work for it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it's just easier to say, whatever, I'm not going to work on it and just start with someone new. But when you really commit yourself to someone, you actually want to work on it. And then, just we haven't gotten divorced yet because we work through it.
That is for a fact.
And we've never, ever broken up or taken a break in all these years.
Yes, that is correct. And
so it's been a solid 8 years, not 2 years broken up for a week, a month, and then got back together. No, solid 8 years.
Oh, yeah, people. I stuck around. I never said I'm going to go, you know what, we should split. I don't think I've ever come to the idea of splitting. Like, I would feel like a failure if I ever did that. And I feel like I failed my wife, and I failed as a husband, and I failed as a father, because not only will I be failing my wife, I'll actually be failing my daughter as well too, right? But no, we never split up.
No, ever.
We never come to a conclusion when we have arguments to say, you know what, I think we should split up, or I think we should break up.
Yeah, because everything that we've ever, like any discussions or anything like that we've had, it's something that you can work on. It's not something that you just get divorced or separate over. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be something huge in order for us to, like, separate or anything like that.
Most definitely.
Which brings us to our first question.
And this fellow listener, thank you for the question. How much do you guys do when it comes to compromising? Now, that's a little bit what we talked about already. For those of you who don't know what that means, it means that to come to an agreement by mutual concession, that two sides are unwilling to compromise. The union and employer agree to compromise in work terms. So we had a little one yesterday, kind of, which is kind of funny when we compromised yesterday. Long story short, one of the members of the Gomez Saga, Mr. Danzucolo, not yesterday, but in the past 2 weeks, he wanted us to respect the fact that he really, 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 really wants to take his corona separation seriously.
Social distancing.
His social distancing. So that being said, he really likes to just stay home and not do anything. All he wants to do is just be home, be with his mom, be with my mom and dad, which is his mom and dad, of course, and just be with his girlfriend, and that's it. That's the farthest he goes. Anything where he steps outside of the house, He's full on his face mask, covered up, sweatered up. And he really is like kind of super, what's the right word? I'm like superstitious.
I mean, it's fine that, you're following the guidelines and wearing your mask and your gloves if you need to when you go out. But when you're family, it's kind of like, it's different. You know what I mean? Like we're around each other all the time. And well, yesterday, my husband's parents, my in-laws invited us to go over. It was yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. Yesterday was Monday. My days are off right now. They had invited us for a little barbecue at their house. So I get a message while I'm at work, and my husband was telling me, we're going to go to mom and dad's house for a barbecue. And I said, no. Jose said social distancing, so I'm not going to go over. So my husband was like, oh, no, you're better than that. You need to come over. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take my time. So I came home from work. I was going to take a nap since I was home alone, but I did not. I actually went for a jog, took about 30 minutes running, came back home, took a shower, took my sweet time, and then I went to their house. So that was the type of compromise for us because I didn't want to go, but he wanted me to go. But at the same time, it's like, why wouldn't I go? Their house is like 3 minutes away from our house.
And most importantly, our daughter was there.
Oh, yeah. Gianna was she was having a blast playing in the backyard and getting dirty and stuff. So she needed clothes. So, of course, I'm not going to let her be all dirty and stuff. So I had to take close to her anyway. So that's the main reason why I went over yesterday. Sorry, Jose. Nothing against you, but,
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry.
The reason why he's so anal about it because we both have very essential jobs. Very essential. We both have essential jobs. So that is one of the reasons why he's so paranoid about the fact that he really wants to. He's taking it up like he's really, really so into the whole. God, I'm losing my words. What the heck?
The guidelines.
The guidelines and the social distancing.
The
and
policies of everything.
He's literally following like almost every single code. But yesterday that's what happened. And I would say that was definitely compromising. But when you're with somebody for so long, for 8 years, not only did I use my daughter to get her to come.
You used her, of course. I knew that.
I also use food.
I love food.
You guys, honestly, if you want to get to a woman's heart, you gotta keep them fed, man. They love food, they love Cheetos, and obviously yesterday we were having a carne asada on a Monday. We were having a barbecue during the week.
Like, how random is that?
Pretty damn random, but who's never down for a carne asada, right?
True, very true.
And then my dad was like, Dile, Giselle, que compré longaniza.
I love longaniza. It's so good.
It's so good on the grill, y'all. So good. And my dad was like, la preparé bien. Vamos a compartirlos juntos. Hice un pollo, el mejor pollo del Fresno.
Yeah, they actually didn't burn the chicken this time. They always do. They don't know how to cook chicken.
Man, we suck at chicken.
Or grilled chicken.
Man, we cannot grill chicken to save our lives. We can. I can fry chicken. I can fry chicken really good. But man, we cannot grill chicken to save our lives.
But bottom line, you guys, when it comes to compromising, you need to be comfortable with what you're compromising with, because if it doesn't feel right to you, don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, It also depends on the situation. You can be compromising over food, which is nothing, or it can be compromising over something way bigger than that. So it's whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, meet in the middle.
Exactly.
Boom. Right in the middle, y'all. So that is our question number 1. Question number 2. How do you guys keep the flame going, a.k.a. the spark?
I don't know. That's kind of, I don't want to say it's a hard question, but it's just, I think it's just our personalities that they just click together.
Yeah.
Which is not really a good answer, but I mean, it's true. You know what I mean? We don't do anything special. Actually, yeah, you do. You're very spontaneous. Yeah. You're very spontaneous. For Mother's Day, you took me to Shaver Lake, which I did not know about. I was actually getting mad that morning. I got mad over something
because
that morning. I forgot what it was, but you told me don't ruin your Mother's Day. I was like, okay, he's planning something.
Don't ruin this Mother's Day.
Yeah, like don't ruin your day. I'm like, what is he talking about? I'm like, oh, he's planning something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we just got in the car and we had Gianna with us, our 3-year-old. We got in the truck and he just started driving. And as soon as he got on the 168, I was like, I know where I'm going. It's beautiful up there in Shaver Lake.
It was awesome.
The weather was perfect.
It was perfect. And there was no people up there, which made it even better. And then the burgers we had at that shop.
Oh, yeah. What was that place called?
My God, I was so deep.
There's like a new burger place up there. The burgers were bomb.
They were really juicy. They had this one sauce that they added on it, like a combination of McDonald's sauce with
like In-N-Out sauce.
It was delicious.
It was really good. And it was huge too.
Yeah.
And the papas, they were kind of like Doghouse grilled papas.
Yes.
The seasoning was like Doghouse grilled papas.
That's right, people. Dang. Once I have the name, I'll put it on the comments below of the name of that burger joint up in Shaver Lake. But man, it was fire. That thing was good. It was so good, we didn't finish it because it was so big.
Yeah, it was really big.
It was huge. And it was awesome because now we could go to burger joints because of our daughter.
Oh, she likes cheeseburgers now.
Cheeseburgers now, our 3-year-old.
That's like her favorite meal at the moment.
Besides beans.
Yeah.
She loves her dad's beans. I made the world's best frijoles, for those of you who already know. Or who don't know either.
Yeah, her number one favorite food is frijoles con tortilla with crema and queso. Queso fresco.
Queso fresco. Exactly.
She loves that. She can eat that every day.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to donate queso fresco and crema a la mexicana or frijoles peruanos, shoot them my way.
Hell yeah.
It'll go to a beautiful 3-year-old. Beautiful, beautiful 3-year-old.
She's so funny.
That's a good one.
What would you say how we keep the spark going? Besides you being spontaneous.
I really like the spark, keeping it going. Maybe that's the other reason why it's lasted this long. Mm-hmm. And in these 8 years, right? So I look at everybody that's around me, and then like family, coworkers, friends that have been in and out of my life, how they handle the relationships. And they always usually like to vent to me and tell me stuff like, oh man, that happened because of this and it happened because of that. And I asked them like, why? How did it get to that? And I was like, I don't know. We just get caught up in our lives. And I just like, I don't know, like sometimes I just don't want to go home. I just want to go to a bar after, or be with my friends, or be with my boys. And then I'm like, but why would you do that instead of being with your lady at home? Or why don't you go spend time with your lady, or ask your lady if she wanted to go out? I used a lot of that's one of the examples that I've came up to my top of my head right now. Mm-hmm. But I used a lot of people throughout my life. Like I'm 30 years old now. And
like the examples of their relationships and what they go through?
Yeah. And then my mom played a big factor in it, of how the man who I became today, right? Because my mom is what taught me how to treat a woman and how to be with a woman and how to love a woman and what to look for in a woman. And then my dad taught me how to be a man, right? The right from wrong, and what a man should be, an example of a man, and how a man should put the woman first. Mm-hmm. So I had the honor and privilege to have both my parents educate me as well too growing up. So when I said, okay, when I have the right woman, I'm gonna do everything they taught me, and I'm gonna use all the experiences that I've seen throughout the years. So all that contributes to what we're at right now in this timeline of how long we've been together. So like little things could add up to keeping the spark going, right? So like, for example, I remember, I would say 6 years ago. But before we were even dating, I used to wear sombreros with my dad when we used to do concrete. And I used to be, because my dad's been doing concrete for like 32 plus years, right? So like 32 years. And growing up, my dad always gave me a sombrero and some boots, and he would take us out there, and we get rugged and we get dirty. So like, I never wear sombreros with any of my girlfriends, any of them, right? So I said, okay, with my wife, I'm going to try something different, you know? So I remember that we were in Kerman one time, and it was like one of our early days being together. And
Kerman?
Yeah, we were.
You sure that was me?
Yeah. It's getting there. You're going to like this. Tell me if you remember this. My mom and dad said, like, let's go to Kerman because there's this bomb-ass place that makes chicharrones out there.
Oh, I remember that.
That was fire, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
So we go out there and we get the chicharrones. And my dad's all in love eating chicharrones. And then my dad was like, oh, mira, hijo, aquí está una tienda que hacen los sombreros ellos mismos. Y unos son de México, vamos para allá adentro. So we went in there. And I remember that I grabbed a sombrero and I was like, okay, maybe this is the point. This is the time right here. I'm going to show her what I look like in a sombrero. Maybe she's going to like it or maybe not. And we'll see if this turns her on or if she's going to like it. Because if she does, then I'm going to start wearing sombreros in our relationship as far as being together. Mm-hmm. So I slapped that sucker on. And what happened?
Sexy.
Boom. Fire.
Damn.
Fire.
I remember that.
And see, I remember that.
So now whenever he is like gardening or doing anything like that, he'll put on the sombrero with boots and Lord Jesus.
Boom, baby. And that's an example of how we keep the spark going. And I like to keep the spark going. So the sombreros, it's a thing. Yeah. It's good. It's working. Yeah. She likes it. When I know she's coming from work, she's on her way. I slap on one of my sombreros, slap on my area boots, wear my Wranglers, wear my button-up shirt.
Oh, yeah. Or those jeans that make your butt look good.
Oh, that's right, baby. And she pulls up to her house. Here she comes. Dun, 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 dun. Mm-hmm. She probably has like a Demi Lovato song playing.
Hell yeah.
Or Ariana song playing. And she sees this man with a sombrero, cowboy looking, vaquero, cutting the front yard, all dirty. Bam.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, those of you who are in a relationship, wear a sombrero for your lady.
Wear a sombrero.
But test it out. Not all women like men with
and not all men look good in sombreros.
Exactly.
Also,
no.
Just like not all of them look good in like what are caps, hats. You know.
Or not all men look good with beards or long hair, short hair. Test it out, y'all. Not everybody looks good with sombreros. Not everybody.
And I just feel like people get comfortable too as the relationship goes on, and they lose the spark because they get so comfortable. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I don't know, just do what you were doing when we were dating, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, we've taken Gianna to Sonic. You know, we're a family now, so we don't really go out without her. Mm-hmm. So she's always with us. And, you know, we had that Sonic experience a while back. And we take Gianna to Sonic, you know, because that's something that we would do when we were dating. Or Sunday, we went cruising. Not really cruising, but... You know, we went to McDonald's and we had some junk food and we were just driving and just chilling, listening to music, talking. Mm-hmm. It was raining, so it was nice, you know, just do things that are out of the box, like out of your routine is what I'm trying to say, you know? So.
Yeah, baby. And that was a good time. That's something I really, really enjoyed. We took Kings Canyon all the way down to Fulton Street.
Yeah.
From Fulton Street, we went all the way to Blackstone, all the way up north. And it was cool because I knew inside like this is something that I liked and I was enjoying. And especially my wife, you know. My wife was enjoying it. And then my daughter in the backseat enjoying it, smothering her face with the McFlurry, eating her cheeseburger.
Her cheeseburger.
Oh, man.
And it was cruising night, so there was a bunch of cars everywhere. So she liked to hear the vroom vroom from all the cars.
Yeah.
So she was loving it. So
it was amazing. So many 64 Impalas out there, Monte Carlos, Continentals, a lot of Chevys dropped out there. Of course, the police was out there stopping everybody.
Yeah.
It's potty poopas.
Killing the vibe. But they're just trying to keep everybody safe.
Yeah, coronavirus.
Can't blame them.
For those of you wondering what we're drinking, some SMR for you guys. It's the cranberry and vodka for everybody. A little dose before we go to sleep. It'll knock us right out. So, how to keep the spark going. What's another one? Let's see. What's another one I like to do? Oh, men, invest time in yourselves. When you invest time in yourselves, then you can impress your woman as well, too. For example, a woman loves it when they come home and they see their man cooking. Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Yes.
The women love it, guys. You got to do it, man. The ladies love it. As long, even if it's just some frijoles de la olla or whatever, drop some nopalitos in there with some jitomates, some cebollas, some cilantro, mix it up. Or make them breakfast. Girls love it. They love it. Guys, it's not to be a mandilon. It's called being a man and impressing your lady and keeping the spark going. That's what it is right there, everybody, okay? Girls love it. I know when I cook, my wife loves it. She'll be coming from behind, grabbing me from the stomach, hugging me. You can see it in her eyes. You could tell when she likes, those kind of things. But you just got to find the stuff in your partner. Find the things that your partner likes and, do it.
And that kind of ties in with compromising, too. Mm-hmm. Like, whenever you cook, I try to clean out the kitchen since I know you have been cooking. Or when I cook, you clean for me, Mm-hmm. You just got to balance it out. Mm-hmm. You need to know how to balance it out.
Yeah.
Don't try to act like you're macho and, you cook for me, you clean everything up. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go play video games, stuff like that.
Girls, if you're dating a man with a video game problem, he's got to go. Because those are little boys. And I'm sorry to say this.
And if they're not willing to compromise to give you your time, then that's... No. Turn around and run. Hearing that from a real lady, a real señorita, everybody. I don't know. I think there was a time I played video games, but then I turned around and I said, no, man. I have a daughter. I have my wife. I have everything that I need in my life. I just decided to just let it all go. I did play my video games at a time when we first started, but it was terrible.
It was terrible. But I slowly, letting that go. You got to let that go, everybody.
He stopped playing video games. He was, hardcore. He would go with his cousins to this place called Cyber Arena CA that was in Tower District. It's no longer there anymore. But he would go and be there for hours and hours at a time.
Our first year's dating, everybody.
Yeah, it was very hard because he was going from being single, doing whatever he wanted to do, to me, a woman that knew what she wanted in life. I knew I wanted to be with him, and him spending so much time playing video games, I was like, hell to the no. This needs to stop. And eventually it did. It didn't stop completely. We had a few arguments about him and his playing so much. But once it started getting real, once we wanted to get a house, because we were working so hard, and we were at his parents' house for a while, saving up for our house. So then I got pregnant, and there's just no more time. Mm-mm. And you make time for things that are important to you. Obviously, gaming is not important to you because you haven't made any time for it. Mm-mm. You have better things to do. You know what I mean?
So many more things to do.
Yeah.
So, there's so many things. Our house, us, my daughter is learning every single day.
Yeah. How would you look being in front of a computer for hours at a time with Gianna here?
Oh, God.
You know what I mean?
That'd be pretty embarrassing and pretty horrible as a father to knowingly know that your child is next to you, especially at 3. You know, at any age, if you're stuck to the TV and your child's next to you and playing, and while you're playing and your child's next to you, and your child's like just sitting there coloring and playing with their toys alone, and you're playing zero focus on them because you're playing video games with your homeboys and your friends and your amigos. I mean, it looks bad. And if you look at it from the outside point, like, it's horrible. And like, I don't see myself doing that. And if you know anybody that does that, or if you're somebody that does that, man, you should really evaluate yourself.
Yeah.
Because it looks horrible. And when you don't focus and invest time in your kids, those are the kids that most of the time grow up with problems because they didn't have you growing up. And then when you finally decide to step up for your child, it'll probably be too late.
Yeah. They don't want to hear it because you weren't there when they needed you. Mm-hmm.
So invest time in your family, invest time in your child, invest time in your lady, your wife, your family, or even invest time in your family, because even when you don't have nothing and all you do is video games and you live at your parents, like you're spending time away from your family. And I'm
not saying that it's bad for you to live with your parents if you're older.
Yeah.
It's just how you're spending your time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're living at your parents' house, great. Work, pay off all your bills, buy yourself a car, save money.
Have a goal and leave.
Yeah. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. If I was living in my parents' house, I would save up money. Mm-hmm. I would have, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with you living at your parents' house. As long as you're taking advantage of it in the correct way, in the sense that, like I said, you're paying off your bills, you're saving up your money, buy a car. So by the time that you are able to move out, you're able to put that money towards your house, your apartment, your new bills that comes with, you know, your new home, utilities, furnishing your house or whatever, stuff like that, you know. So if you live at home, save up and get out.
Yeah.
When the time is correct.
Yep. Unless you're taking care of somebody or somebody's very sick or where it has to do like some circumstances, then we understand. But we were talking about the ones that are just abusers, right? And they're just there abusing their time, being at the parents' house. I mean, like, how long do you plan on being there?
Yeah.
You know?
Like you would want to move out. You'd expect that you want to move out. I mean, when we were teenagers, what did we want to do? Oh, I want to run away from a house. You know, you're an adult now. You work and get out. Run away.
Man.
You know, like.
I remember growing up, I did want to go out. I remember that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to leave. I couldn't wait until I turned 18. And then I couldn't leave yet because I didn't have the money.
Yeah.
Then I was in college and I was like, oh, I could leave now. I'm in college and I have a job. I did leave, big mistake, went back. I told my mom, hey, I'm not ready. The outside world sucked me in and everything went wrong.
I know, that's a whole story within itself.
That's a whole story in itself, y'all. But let's put it this way. I learned a lot from being in the outside world and I wasn't ready. So then I went back to my parents' house. And when I moved back, I was like, okay, I got to get ready and prepare myself. And then I was getting a job. My mom and dad were helping me. They're helping me find a car. And they were just building myself. You know, they were building me and they were helping me be a man again, like be a man, but be an adult, right? And get ready to buy my own car or buy my own house. But at the time, they wanted me to save up to buy a house. The best thing you could do, honestly, is buy a house before your car. If you're anybody who's listening, buy your house before you buy your car. Because if you buy your car first, it's going to take you a long time to buy a house. Because it kind of gets in the way when you're pulling out a loan or a mortgage for your house.
Yeah.
You look at the car, and that takes up a lot of your expenses and
your debt to credit ratio. Is that what it is? Debt, some kind of ratio that they look at. So if you owe $20,000 on a car, they're not going to want to give you a $200,000 loan on a house because you have that. It's technical. So
yeah.
If you have questions about how to get a house,
definitely hit us up. Or if not, definitely hit up our good friend. I forget
Somebody sells houses that we know?
Sure. If anybody wants to build houses, Robert Perez.
Oh, Robert Perez.
That's your man to go to.
Grand Luxury Homes on Instagram.
Yes, guys. Hit him up, Mr. Robert Perez.
He can build your dream home.
Oh, yeah. That's the guy we're going to go to for our house.
Heck yeah.
For our next dream home, baby.
Yep.
Robert, that is you, amigo. So, other question. This one is...
my comadre, my bestie, Alondra.
She gave us a kind of a strong question. And this probably leads to the keeping the spark.
Yeah.
As well,
it ties in.
So this is for the adult people listening. How many times do you guys have...
How often are we intimate?
How often
in a week, right?
Are we intimate?
Did she say week? Or just...
How often do we have...
Well, guys, we have a 3-year-old.
let's first throw that out there. So...
Let me check my ovulation app, Ovia.
While you do that, let me first educate them on when you have a child in your house, it could get really challenging.
Definitely.
Really, really challenging.
For sure.
And I'm not going to get really in depth about it, but it could be challenging, right? Now, the challenging part leads to the spark part of it as well, too, right? Because
oh my God, I just spilled my drink.
It's okay. It's okay.
Cranberry juice on the floor.
Oh, no. Okay. Continue. So, back to the intimate part. Yes, we have a 3-year-old, so it could be challenging. So obviously, we're not like complete sickos, and while she's awake, right? So the challenging part is always have her in her room, and the challenging part is about staying up as well too to do all this. Or if she's asleep during the day, find the areas in the house where it's valuable to, or it's a good spot. That's where the spark comes into hand, right? Because when we're about to be intimate, it's kind of like, oh my God, we're finally. Is she gonna walk in on us? Is she gonna walk in on us? No, hopefully not. We should go double check that the door's closed. And the door's closed. Yes. So door's always closed. We always gotta find out if she's asleep. It could be very, very challenging. Before the whole quarantine happened, it was a lot better for us during that time when we have our dates. My daughter would go to my mom's house, obviously, and it would be a lot easier for us. But with this whole quarantine, it's quite challenging. So, with that being said, once she gets here, she'll check how many times if she wants to know. But yes, we do it often. We get very intimate, but it can be very challenging. And the challenging is the spark in it, right? It's challenging, and it's kind of like we feel like we're gonna get in trouble, or like somebody's gonna come in and watch us, which we don't want, obviously. So we try to be as not cordial, but we try to be as private about it as possible, especially since we have our daughter in the house. But yes, we are pretty intimate as a couple. I don't have a number to give you, but yeah, it could be very challenging. And for those of you who have kids, and those of you who have like 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, we understand. It could be very, 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 very challenging for you. And give us a minute here. We have some technical difficulties. We spilled the cranberry all over the floor. And we're currently in the cleaning phase right now.
Sorry, I'm just going to dump this on there real quick.
No problem. No problem. Nothing like some baking soda to take care of the cranberry. It'll absorb the redness of it. For those of you who are listening or still listening right now, definitely get some popcorn until my wife gets back here. She'll be here shortly. We don't have music for you guys while we wait. A little drink session. Here we go. cranberry and vodka, y'all. And we're not drunk. She just spilled that on accident. She went to fix her microphone and whop. See, gotta be responsible, y'all. You spill
That's how you keep the spark going. Just throw stuff around sometimes.
That's right, honey. You straight up did. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, suegra. For all of those who are listening, who do have kids, you guys do understand how challenging it could be. So yeah, honey, I think I pretty summed it up on that part.
What did you say?
I didn't give him a number.
You didn't give him a number? Okay,
no,
good.
I just told him how challenging it could be when you have kids and how you have to keep it very, very private.
Yeah, it is very challenging, and sometimes we're just tired. We both work. You know, it's not just physical work, like physically going to work. You have to work around the house too. You have to maintain a house, maintain a kid, keep them entertained, play with them. So sometimes we're just tired and we just fall asleep. Yeah. And nothing happens, but that's okay because we understand.
Yeah. That's where it comes to the compromising, right?
Compromisation.
We just look at each other, and usually my wife tells me, yep. She usually giggles and tells me, babe, I'm tired. I'm like, babe, I understand. For those of you who don't know, my wife works during the day and I work at night. So just think about how challenging that could be. And we do not have a babysitter. Whenever we do have babysitters, it's for date nights, or we have a concert or something to go to, or we have an event at work. Usually my mom steps in to take care of my daughter. Or
Mr. Denzocolo and his girlfriend, Catherine. They've also babysat for us on date nights. Gianna loves them.
Loves them to death. So it works.
Works out.
So, yeah, it could be quite challenging, everybody. A lot of you do understand nowadays.
And don't expect it, demand it from your wife or your girlfriend. You know what I mean? Just because you want it doesn't mean you're going to get it. So.
And it won't be pretty. If she says yeah, and when she don't want to, it's not going to be pretty, guys. So meet in the middle, you know. You guys come to an agreement. If one doesn't want to do it and one does, just meet in the middle and just save it for another time. If there is. Remember to make time.
Women, we have a bunch of hormones going through our body at all times. And our cycle, like our menstrual cycle, it's not just a period. It's literally a cycle. Every day you're in a different phase of your cycle. Some days we want it really badly. Some days we don't want you to even look at us. So, you know, you just have to be, kind to your woman, your partner. I mean, I don't know if men go through that or not, but
we have our moments.
No, there's women. There's women that I know that want it all the time, and their partner doesn't care for it. You know what I mean? So it's that's, you know, I don't know. Just be respectful of each other when it comes to that.
Respect for your partner, guys. Respect for your partner. And our last question that we have is, does being single come to your guys' mind, you or hers?
Being single, like right now, like being divorced, being single, or just being single, period, like never have gotten married?
Yeah, that was quite a tricky question that I didn't quite understand.
Well,
I'm gonna go with both of them, what you just said right
Okay. Well, no, because I've always wanted to have a family. So if I didn't want to have a family, I would have never gotten married. So no, being single has not crossed my mind. I do wish I would have traveled more when I was single, when we were both single as a couple. It's harder now with the kid.
Yeah.
And it's scarier. Like when you have a kid, it opens your mind to like scarier things. You know what I mean? Like when I got on an airplane, when I went to Maui, I was like, hell yeah, airplane, you know? And now I'm like, I'm not putting Gianna on an airplane. What if it crashes? You know what I mean? You know, it just, I don't know. That's my only, I don't want to say it's a regret, but I just wish we would have traveled a lot more. But being single now, no.
Yeah, same thing for me, man. Jesus. When I look at people nowadays and I see the way they date and how the dating scene, and we spoke about this before, and I have a lot of examples of that at work, and I see the way they date and what they go through, and I'm just like, man,
yeah,
I'm glad I'm not in your shoes anymore. Because I am so glad I'm in a relationship that I'm very happy with and that I really love. Because when I met my wife, well, obviously I've known my wife since I was like 10. We've known each other for a long time. We've always been friends. But there was a time in my life where I was just like, man, like I'm just done messing around. Like I'm done with all these girls. And when I say all these girls, it's like I've always had one, and then didn't last, and I had another one. It didn't last. It just didn't never fall. They all fall out, you know. And I was just so tired of dating and just dating these girls. And then when I really wanted a woman, and it was like I really wanted a woman, and I was like, man, like once I find me a real woman, and that's it. Like I'm set. I'm gonna focus 100% on that, and that's what I want to be for the rest of my life. And then second time's the charm. I tried with my wife here, and bam, we got together. We became a couple. And the moment we became a couple, I straight up told my wife, and I say second time's the charm because I asked her twice. It took me twice to get my wife to be with me. The first time she said no, and the second time she said yeah. And it was like a 1.5 year gap, I believe.
Yeah, it was less than 2 years.
Yeah, there was a gap in between. So like when we got together, I was like, yes, like this is what I want. I really want her. I want to be with her, and I'll be with her for the rest of my life. Like she's everything that I want as a woman. Like she was a hardworking girl. She was young. She's single, worked hard. She liked dancing. I liked dancing. She liked to travel. Like everything I want to do. And then she into camping and hiking, going to Yosemite. I was like, dude, this is like perfect. So I was like, when we got together, like I straight up told her, I was like, hey, like I'm in it for the long haul. So you said the date, you tell me when, and I'm gonna be there when we get married.
I was like, right, September 7th, 2013.
And Palos, we did it.
Yeah, we sure did.
Man, I wasn't kidding. Like I wanted to marry the woman, and wanted to room with the woman of my life, and that was her. And we got married just like that. And I don't look back, and I don't look forward. I only look forward, and very, very quite happy. And a lot of people ask me at work too. It was like, have you ever thought about like cheating, or have you ever cheated, or if you're like, I'm like, hell no, man. I am good. I have everything that I want. Like, why would I let that go? Like, why would I destroy that? I have a USDA prime rib, USDA choice waiting for me at home. I'm sorry, man.
Always comparing me to steak all the time.
Only the USDA choice, honey.
Okay.
You're the prime of the prime, baby. I was like, man, I'm waiting. That's waiting for me at home, y'all. Like, I cannot let that. I had to bring that up. I'm sorry, honey.
Of course.
I got me a nice plate of chile verde waiting for me at home. Like, I gotta go. I'm good. Y'all can keep playing at work or in your lives. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I'm good, guys. Like, I'm very happy. I have my beautiful daughter. I have my house. I have my beautiful wife. Like, it's been an amazing experience, guys. Like, to know the background that I came from, like, where I've come to, where I'm being at now, like, I am beyond happy with what I have. Like, and here I am in a podcast with my wife.
Yeah, and it doesn't even seem like it's been so long.
No.
To me, it seems like just yesterday we got together. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, boom, we have a house, we have a kid. It's like, what?
It's like, boom.
Like, when did that happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think when you're happy in a relationship, time doesn't drag on. Like, time just happens. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, that's why to me, it feels like we just got together. Mm-hmm. But in reality, it's been 8 years, almost a decade. You know what I mean? So it's like...
For those of you listening, we will have a decade party. And we
our
still
10th year
know.
Anniversary.
Our 10-year anniversary. We still don't know what we're going to be having the theme as, but...
We have, what, 2 more years?
2 more years?
No, 3? 3 years to plan it.
Oh, yeah, 3 years to plan it.
Because we're going to be 7 years married.
So we're going to have like a 10-year marriage party?
Yeah, we're going to have a 10th year anniversary. Maybe a vow renewal. I'm not sure. I don't know if you do your vow renewals at 10 or 20 years.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
We'd have to look that up. That's going to be a fat party.
I'll be 32 on our 10th year.
Be 33? 3? Yeah, I'll be 33.
We're still young.
Yeah, we are. Huh?
Yeah, we're hella young.
Damn. Oh, estamos jóvenes.
We are. Of course we are.
So.
Side note, you guys, I spilled my cranberry juice with vodka and put baking soda and then hydrogen peroxide on top of it, and it took out the stain.
Oh, lovely.
I'm looking at it right now.
Lovely.
It's gone.
You're amazing. So everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking around. And those of you who listened to the whole show today, I thank you so much.
Appreciate it, you guys.
Appreciate it, guys. And thank you to my lovely wife for joining me for the show.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you, mamas. So glad you came. And this is just the beginning, everybody. So if you have any more questions, definitely put them down in the comments. Comment below. If not, DM the messages to us, either or me or my wife. Giselle Gomez on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. It's
on Instagram, I'm G Gomez 9713.
Boom.
And the same. Oh shoot! I think I hear Gianna.
Princess is kind of waking up, y'all. So we're gonna end it there, everybody.
Yeah.
Gomez Saga. Stay tuned for episode 4 and 5 is coming, and today will be a special episode. So stick around for that. It'll be dropping this week. Thank you for listening, everybody. You guys have a good night.
Good night, guys.
Bye-bye.